want me to change, they want me to change, but I ain't changing, nah. I remain the same.
And you are now tuned into another episode of Intellectually Petty Radio, brought to you by M3S3 Clothing. Men make moves and suckers stand still. And as always, on the mighty, mighty, mighty Nerd DJs Radio Network. You already know, man. We only rock with legends around here. Shout out to the Lions while I'm at it, man. Shout out to the motherfucking Lions. Anyway, we got one of the GOATs in the game coming on today, man. OP, the director of lifestyle and national urban mix show radio for Warner Brothers Records. Yo, it doesn't get much bigger than that, man. And just an overall dope ass individual, man. How you doing, King?
I'm good, man. How you feeling, my guy, man? Shout out to Intellectual Petty Radio, man. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Oh man, that's dope. Hey, put your camera up just a little bit, because when you scoot up a little bit, like half your face is gone.
Got
All
it?
right, yeah. Oh wow, is that a palm tree?
Yeah, man. I'm over here. I just got to Tallahassee, Florida. We're doing a DJ Depp weekend.
Okay, what is that?
So DJ Depp is a big DJ out here in Tallahassee. He does events every day, kind of like a core DJ, but not really. He does like parties and events from like Monday all the way to Sunday. So DJ Depp is a legend out here in Tallahassee. So he does it like every year. He's been doing it for over 10 years. He's been doing it for a real long time.
Okay, you got a really, really long, fancy title. What exactly do you do, bro?
So I'm executive director of lifestyle. So when we say lifestyle, back in the day we used to call it street promotions. Street team promotions. So now we call it lifestyle. Lifestyle meaning going into clubs, making sure that mixer DJs are having the record and make sure they're playing it, inside the clubs. Servicing the DJs, the records that we work in. It could be independent, it could be major and things like that. So we call that lifestyle. Like you can say like lifestyle comes with like something like a PR when you do the whole little podcast interviews and things like that, tastemakers and stuff like that. So as far as lifestyle, that's that side of it. But then when it comes to national MIXSHOW radio, my job is to make sure it's a service. The program directors, music directors, and mixers that's on that MIXSHOW radio station records, to make sure that they're playing it. So I help serve the whole Southeast. So from Atlanta all the way to DC all the way down to Miami, to LA, to Chicago, to Ohio, and Indianapolis, and things like that. So we make sure that we service all the records that we're working at Warner Records to make sure they have it, make sure they're playing it, make sure that we take care of our DJs as much as possible, and make sure that they're up to date on everything that we have going on.
Okay, so you don't get to pick the talent then?
No. I don't get to pick the talent. So we're behind the scenes of doing the marketing promotion. We're the machine behind the urban side. To make sure that the records getting played in the right places and getting played correctly. We have an A&R team. That picks the artists. But when it comes to picking certain records, yeah, we have the control to pick certain records if we all agree to it.
Okay. Now, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I know in your career you run across some artists that you just was like, this person is just horrible, but I'm gonna give them my 100% effort anyway.
Mm-hmm. You
How
want
do
me?
you is that an internal conflict for you? Like somebody that like as opposed to an artist where you like, oh, this person is phenomenal. I need to see this person win, as opposed to somebody that's like, oh my God, this nigga's horrible.
I mean, you'll get that sometimes. Like you'll get sometimes that be like, oh man, this record's horrible. This ain't it. Sometimes our opinion don't mean nothing. Because if the label and the people want to go with the record, we got to pull our sleeves up and go in. You know what I'm saying? Even if we like the record or don't like the record. But it's been records where we love so much. And it was like, this the one. I like it. And then that's a record they might not want to go with, or the record they do what it's supposed to do. But, at labels, man, it's a hard thing to try to figure out sometimes which record to go with. Because if it's an artist that's talented, that's so talented, and he's so deep in his head, he don't know which record to put out because he has so many dope records. Okay. Sometimes that can be a problem too sometimes, but a good problem because at least you have material and things you can put out.
Yeah.
But for the most part, on our side, we don't really, we like, for example, we picked the Sweetie record, Is It The Way? The record's #2 on the urban charts right now. The urban team picked that record. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be times where we can be like, okay, you know what? It's the record we like. it's the one we want to go to on our side. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we still have our opinion on certain records. If we like it, if we don't like it, like if we want to run with this one, we can. If we don't, well, of course we got to get feedback first from, our mixers, our PDs, our partners to see if this is a record that they like or if they want to go with. So we definitely got to get feedback first before we be like, all right, we finna go in on it. Because it could be like we don't like the record, listening to program directors or music directors, and they'd be like, I like this record. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, since you like it, we're gonna
Let's
roll
go
with
with
it.
it.
We're
Yeah.
gonna go with it. Like sometimes, like even when I tell people about um, DJs, they be like, man, I don't like the record. Well, your DJ might like it. He might like it. Because sometimes our opinion don't mean nothing because we can say we don't like it, but then the DJ might play it more than anything and love it. You know what I'm saying? So we've been getting a lot. We've been getting a lot of those lately. To where a lot of records cool. Nah, man, I like it. I'm gonna play it, which is good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So certain records take time to like. I should say. Sometimes you gotta sit with that record a lot so it can grow on you. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, I kind of like the record. It's kind of catchy. So.
As podcasts grow in significance for the culture,
Mhm.
is it diminishing the necessity of club records?
Ask the question again. What do you mean? Say it again.
As podcasters grow in the
Hmm.
culture and
Hmm.
become more popular, and
Hmm.
more artists have to go on podcasts to promote their products,
Hmm.
is it diminishing the necessity of a club record?
I don't think so because I feel like you need to always have a club record,
Okay.
like, because sometimes a radio record might not take you to where you need to be because sometimes you got to have a balance. You can have a record on the radio,
Mm,
300, 400 spins, but nobody's playing in the club. Now it might work. It might work. Sometimes it don't, but it's better when you have 40 states playing in the clubs. But
yeah.
that's when I come in and our team come in to where we got the lifestyle team and the lifestyle team comes in and we get the clubs and everything going, build the record up, and then boom, radio's at the same time. So now it's a balance. So now when you in the club, you hear the record. Now you in the club and when you hear it on the radio, now you hear it on the radio. So now you have certain podcasts that will play records and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I feel like club records is always something that would never go away. I feel like it's something that people really need because it's a million people on this earth that some don't listen to radio.
Yeah.
They listen to no radio. They
Especially
listen to
nowadays.
they're listening to you podcasts. They're listening to XM radio. But then they're going into the clubs and they're shazamming the song because they trying to figure out what it is. You see what I'm saying? So like that's when the Shazam numbers start coming in to know if your record is booming in certain these markets. That means somebody's in these clubs shazamming this record.
So y'all checking out Shazam too?
Yes, absolutely. We check out Shazam, we check out the TikTok, we check out everything. Like when we have artists that sign to us, we have to check out all the analytics to make sure to see what is it doing. You see what I'm saying? Like for
Mm.
example, again, the Sweetie record, it was number one Shazam and number one in Atlanta, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? It was like number four in Charlotte. It was like number two in this market. So it was number one in a lot of these markets because we seen the Shazam numbers, and it shows you. A
Okay.
lot of people don't know that Shazam. When you Shazam a record, the record pops up. It shows you the record, but then at the bottom it shows how many people Shazammed it.
Yo. Okay. So when you get that information, okay, you've been doing your thing, and then that information comes back. How do you alter the strategy?
I mean, once the information come back, then we just gotta just keep feeding the beast. We just gotta keep going. If we know
Okay.
that, if we know that we have 96 urban stations playing a record and it's examining most of the 30 markets, it's top 10 or top 20, we gotta keep going with it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep hitting them clubs, gotta keep giving the interviews, gotta start doing other things to keep the ball rolling, keep the machine going. You know what I mean? So we know that if it's number one in Atlanta, you gotta call them mixers. Hey, make sure you call the DJs in the club, call this person, make sure everything is right because it's like it's you'll see when it start heating up, when it
Hmm.
starts stirring up. You know what I'm saying? That's when you got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep feeding the beast. You got to keep going.
Most of us don't believe this shit's organic anymore. Are we wrong?
You said most of them say what?
Most of us don't believe that music is organic. Like the success of a song is organic anymore.
Um,
Is that is Are we wrong?
I can't say that because you got artists like Larry June. That's what that's from out of the Bay Area,
Yeah.
and his fans are organic. no radio record,
Yeah.
selling out shows,
Yeah.
getting over $100,000 for a show, selling out for 3,000 people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got Lil Russell from out of Vallejo, California. He's doing the same thing independently.
Yeah.
No radio record, but he's still getting love in the streets and he having shows. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a totally difference to where that's organic. It's up to the artist to 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 really push himself to get his record to make it to make it organic, because like you said, a lot of these artists are, they either getting made up artists, or they're paying for streams, or they're paying for playlists or whatever it is, and they're forcing people to like this person.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you have a lot of artists that's selling out these shows and these tours, that's getting organic fans. You see what I'm saying? And you gotta remember Tech Nine been blowing up for
Crazy
years,
nigga.
and it's organic.
Cool. Now
He's
that
not,
nigga is a unicorn.
but people have to look at how he did that. People have to look at how some of these artists that still streaming, that still have numbers, that still has fans. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When NLE Chopper came out, NLE Chopper it was organic. When he came
I
out with the
like the young
records,
kid
it
too,
was
man.
organic.
That
Like
nigga's kind of dope.
and he signed us at Warner. You see what I'm saying? So he's been there for a while, and all his fans was organic, and ain't no bots or no nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's still out there. People, it's up to the artists on how they strategize their music and their promotion to get people to see them and like them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's always a way around it. Like I said, I can name Larry June. I can name E40. He still has fans. You see what I'm saying? You can name. We can go back. We can go Trey Songz. You see what I'm saying?
You
It
ain't
wasn't no
lying.
made up bots. It was back in that day. It was so organic to where,
Yeah.
like, in order for you to know a person was popping, you had to fly to the city. There was no social media. There was no Twitter. There was no Instagram. There was no Facebook. So you either heard the record in the radio, you heard it at a club, you heard it at a bar mitzvah, you heard it on somebody riding a bike, you heard it at a picnic, to where, like, damn, I keep hearing this record. So now I'm for to fly out to see what this artist is about. And that's where I grew up on the old school guerrilla marketing organic, to really know if an artist is popping or not. You know what I mean?
I'm watching. I don't know if you're familiar with this guy Kev on stage, but big social media presence, big content creator, and he posted something today because someone said that he wasn't funny, he was just likable. And his whole premise was likability is what pays.
Wait,
Because
what's artist's name?
he's a comedian actually. His name is Kevin on stage.
Oh, Kevin on stage. Okay, I heard him. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
he gave like a master class in maybe 2 minutes on Instagram over the importance of being likable, as opposed to being talented. And his point was he'd been in a million meetings where somebody that was uber talented but not likable doesn't get hired, and somebody that's very likable and not as talented gets hired because people are rooting for that individual.
Yeah, because it's not about what you know, it's who you know.
How often do you come across somebody that you just that they got talent, but the work ethic and the likability is through the roof?
He said likability is not there.
No, it's through the roof. It's like they got the likability and the talent. I mean, and the work ethic, but the talent is not necessarily there.
I mean, you still got to keep them.
How often is that? Do you see that though?
I don't see it a lot. I don't see it a lot. Like, that's rare to have the work ethic and the strive and the obedience and the what you call it, and the heart, but then don't have no talent. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's rare. I mean, I can't say that. You know what? Let me switch it up. I can't say that's rare. Um, I didn't came across to where somebody would, like, that worked so hard, man. Like, he didn't care. He did everything. He did everything. He didn't care if he had to go meet a DJ in Orlando, or had to meet a DJ in Richmond, Virginia, or if he had to pull up and do this. He just wanted to show people that he can work hard. The music wasn't all that. But the DJs and people liked him so much because he was so grinding hard and did whatever it took. They still play the record.
Can you teach that to somebody?
No, they got to be in you. You can't teach somebody a grind and teach somebody how to have heart and all that stuff like that. That comes in you. That you're getting taught. You got taught that through your parents. And you got taught that as a young kid through your significant others, or somebody taught you that. And as you was coming up, your father, your mother already had that in them. So when you was born, it was already in you. It's just you got to bring it out of you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that. They don't have no grind and no heart, none of that. You can't teach them that. You can't teach somebody no grind. You
Is that what
can't
this
teach nobody
generation
that.
is that what this generation is missing?
Yes, the generation is missing guidance. They don't want to take guidance from nobody who's been there and done it three more, four more times better than them. They think they know everything. Me coming up, I thought I knew everything. But as I got older, I'm like, okay, I get it. If I would have did it like this before, this would have happened. Got it. But now they don't want to listen because all they doing, what they doing, they going on social media. They're getting their knowledge from social media. They're rather getting it from a person who's been there and done that. But you're listening to somebody on social media that you don't know. I ain't never met him, but you're gonna listen to what he's saying. That's cool. But once you listen to somebody that's right here in your ear, that's been doing this, you know what I'm saying? That has the
But
game.
none of us did.
Yeah, of course. But
Like
it, it's
I think this generation kind of gets penalized for being just as dumb, you know,
mhm.
as my generation.
Yeah, but you think about it, your generation was probably one of the dopest because
I disagree with you completely. I'm sorry to cut you off. I think my
why you say
generation,
that?
it's as far as my generation of black people, I'll put it that way.
Okay, if you want to say it like that, yeah,
Yeah, the biggest failure of black people in the history of this country was my generation,
absolutely.
and it's not even close.
Mm.
And the problem with my generation is that we refuse to acknowledge that, and we refuse to acknowledge the fact that we did an extremely shitty job of teaching this current generation how to be better than us.
but 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 it's the trying to teach these young kids to be better than us is that they don't want to be. They don't want to be. They they don't want to learn. They don't want to. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like it's sad because back home in the Bay, I'm from the Bay, I'm from California, so back home, we got a lot of violence and stuff like that, and you have a lot of people, in the community like Mr. Fab and a lot of people, and trying to get the kids together to stop the
Yeah.
violence and things like that. Giving back to the community, giving back backpacks or giving turkeys or things like that, trying to um, capture the kid's mind and tell them that there's other things you can do than gang banging or other things you do than having this, or if you do this, it's gonna be this. And it has its obstacles. Shout out to Hunkster out there in the Bay. He's an advocate out there in the Bay. He didn't been to jail and came out and changed the narrative for himself and the people in the community of Oakland, California. But it's hard when you just that one or two people, you know
Yeah.
um, having more than just two people. Not saying we don't have more than two people, but we need more people to step up. Like, hey, we need to do this. But again, it's hard to do that when they don't want to do it, or they don't want to learn, or they don't care about it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of these kids are misguided. They have a lot of OGs that's around them that's not telling them what to do because the OGs are scared of the little kids.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
they making money off these niggas.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's the biggest problem. Like when I look at the music, the music that I don't like from this generation,
Hmm.
and I look who's behind that person, it's somebody 50 years or older.
Yeah, for the most part, but you got to think about this. Like a lot of these artists that's getting signed is getting signed by A&Rs who's particularly
Yeah.
some are African American, some are not, but some you got some A&Rs that know the culture, that knows what to do. So even though the CEO might be you know 50 years old or 60 years old, he still has the structure of the A&R who has a good ear to where to sign the artist. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now people might think like, oh man, this artist signed with Woo Woo and he got killed and they're gonna get the money from it. No, that's not how it is. So my thing is that it's not the label fault that the artist is dope and the artist has issues or violence or things like that. Some of these labels are signing these artists because they're talented and they trying to help these artists get out of that situation that you're in. You see what I'm saying? They trying to get you out of that and give you some bread to change your life. But then it goes back again what we said. We're trying to change your life. So once somebody tries to change your life, you got to change yourself up. But you can't still do the same things you're doing when you're in this big position
Yeah.
and you still want to
You can't
go.
be the same nigga.
Yeah, you can't. You can't be want to go still stay on the block on the corner sell
Yeah.
drugs. You can't want to go pimp. You can't want to go do certain things when you're an artist. You're a superstar and you're still outside hanging on the corners,
Yeah.
or you're still hanging in the hood.
Yes.
So the labels are trying to help artists out to change their life, but it's not their fault that the artist doesn't want to change the way that they are once they get in that position.
Yeah.
Like when I got in this position, I come from the street team side. Like I didn't have label accounts with Empire, Capital, Def Jam, Epic, and all that. So coming from the street side, I always work with labels. But then once you come into a corporate label, you got to switch some things up.
Hmm.
Even if you're getting this amount of money or that amount of money, you got to switch some things up because the people that you with now is not going to be the same people that you with over here. You got to switch some stuff up. We can't do the same things. The same thing goes with an artist. Same thing goes with if you have a job at a bank or if you have a job at an insurance company. You're not for to sit there and say, "Oh man, what's up, my guy?" Who you ain't gonna talk all crazy. You're
Yeah.
gonna talk another way
Yeah.
because you have
You
to
don't code
change.
switch.
You have to change. You have to change the way you are as a human being. You can't act the same way everywhere you go.
And I
You know what I'm saying?
and I'll say this to the young niggas out there: if you successful and you go back to the hood and your niggas allow you to stand on that same block, them ain't your niggas.
Absolutely,
You the breadwinner right now. They should be
absolutely,
protecting you like the golden goose.
absolutely. Now,
And if
if you going down to see your peoples down the hood for 20, 30 minutes, I get it. You want to make sure that you see them, you showing love. Okay, then get
absolutely,
up out of there. But
yes,
you ain't got to go there every day.
no, and you
You know
don't have
what I
to.
mean?
Them niggas should know not to bring work around you. They should know that you should only be in certain areas. Like they should be telling you how to maneuver now
Exactly. I mean, I
in a
mean,
good way.
once you from that area, you should know how to maneuver. But you just have to like maneuver differently. You know what I'm saying? You have to do stuff differently.
And I'm not sure
So
what happened, but shit just went black.
hold on one second.
Oh, you must get the phone calls to do that shit.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
let me ask you this: what was the most important no that you said since you got on in the industry?
Wait, say it again. What's the who?
Your most important no.
What you mean? My most important note to what?
Like all money ain't good money.
Oh,
Sometimes you have to say no. What's the
I
most
didn't.
important no?
What do you mean? What's the most important note? What do you mean by that?
Was there a no that you said that looking back saved you a lot of heartache financially
Oh, absolutely.
or business wise? Like what was the most important thing that you turned down that
I
ended
mean,
up
I didn't
being one
turn.
of the best moves for you?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. When I thought about this position at Warner, I was leaving California. Leaving my kids.
Mm,
So my daughter's 16, my son is 6. So, I had to really sit and think if I wanted to take this position or not.
yeah.
Being away from my kids. I'm all the way in Atlanta, and you know, I had to really fight with myself to really be like, do I really want to do this? Is this a good opportunity?
Mm,
Is this gonna make my family? If it's gonna be enough to feed my family, if it's gonna be enough to secure certain things for myself and them. But then when I got to Atlanta, I took the position. Then when you in a new position in a new job, you start thinking like, man, I shouldn't have did it.
mm,
But then that's just because you're not used to what you're getting into, if that
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
So I had to really get into the groove of corporate world. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's not like the street shit. But I had to get into the corporate world to understand why I was in this position. You know what I'm saying? Why did I get this position? You
Mm,
know what I mean? Why did God put me in this position? So I was thinking about it like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm here for a reason. And I didn't really think about that because I wanted to be like, nah, I can't do this. I can't do this. The
Really?
money's not good. I can't do it. Nah, I ain't. But the thing is, it's not about the money. It's never been about the money with me. It's been about learning, understanding, and trying to get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? And I had to understand that and be real with myself and look at myself in the mirror like, bro, you're here for a reason. You know, you're not here for no reason. So I had to take it like that because it was a hard, tough pill to swallow when you ain't be able to see your kids, when you want, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one probably was the most biggest opportunity that I took in my life because, I love my kids to death. So um, I had to really think about it though and be like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So this is my second year at Warner. January 29th will be 2 years. Will be a year at Warner. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
My
So
birthday is the 30th. Just throwing that out there if y'all want to
say no more.
celebrate.
I got you. Send me a cash app. Say no more. Nah, but I love it, man. I love where I'm at, man. I love my team. Um, you know, Warner does take care of us, man. They make sure we good. Um, shout out to Ryan Stu, shout out to Corey Sparks, shout out to Joan and Lexus. My urban team over at Warner. I had to have tough conversations, with certain people so I can know if I really wanted to do it. And, I'm still here, man. I love it. I enjoy it. I'm not complaining about it. And, I'm blessed, man. And I'm happy that I took the position. At
Okay.
first I was like, oh, no, but I'm happy that I took the position because it opened up doors for you. And, you can learn a lot to figure out how the corporate world works.
What's the next level for you?
Honestly, man, I want to start my own label. Back home, people back in the day was like, man, you should start your label, you should do this, you should do that, and I was like, nah, it takes too much work. Me being in the label and seeing how they structure everything,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a lot of work. Not saying it can't happen, but I definitely I want to own a label. I want to showcase artists that I know that's dope, that I know that's dope. I want to showcase certain things, but if I start a label, I'm going to do it the old school way. I'm not fit to, of course you gotta blend in with the times, but I'm still gonna do the old school guerrilla marketing because it still works.
Who do you listen to now? Or are you allowed to say anybody outside of Warner Brothers?
Yeah, like music I listen to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, if I'm on some cool chill, have my mind right on some chill, like talking about life and depression or talking about girlfriends type stuff, I'm listening to Tootsie. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I'm listening to Ride Wave. I want to get hyped up real quick. I want to think about getting some money or something. I go to Money Bag Yo.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And if I want to get on some player stuff, I listen to E40 or Richie Rich or Too Short back at the home at back home field. It's a lot I listen to, man. I have a lot of different variety of
Hey,
music. I
you
listen to
don't look
old school
old
too.
enough. You don't
I
look
mean,
old enough to be fucking with Ricky Rich and Too Short, bro.
come on, man. What you mean?
Come
I'm
on,
okay.
man.
Listen. I'm born in '86, man. So I grew up on the hyphy music, Richie Rich, Too Short, E40, Three Times Crazy. You know what I mean? The Loonies, Mac Dre,
Damn.
Kick the Sneak, Mac Mall, Big Rich. Like, you know what I mean? Like I grew up on all that, man. Being a young kid and seeing that, it taught me a lot too. You know what I'm saying? Like just listening to their music. In the Bay, a lot of artists, old school artists was giving us game.
Man.
E40, Too Short, Richie Rich, Mac Dre. A lot of these cats was giving us game. In their lyrics, telling you how to get the money, what to do with the money, how you should save it, and how you should do this and that. And it stuck with me as a kid. Like I never really told nobody, but it stuck with me as a kid with me listening to lyrics
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. So I listen to a lot of old school music, even you know, like on Isley Brothers. You know what I'm saying? Marvin Gaye, because my dad, as a young age, he always used to play Marvin Gaye. He always played Tupac. He always played Al Green. He always played the Temptations, and this is the time where they had CDs in the cars,
Yeah.
and he used to play them every morning. I used to take him to
You preaching
daycare.
to the choir, bro.
Yeah, every morning.
I
I was
had the
like,
big ass CD case where I couldn't see shit. I'm driving down the street looking through 100
yo,
CDs.
you already know the black cage you pull like this,
Nigga,
and you
yes.
flip it and you put it in the slide. Yeah, that one.
Yo, but it was, and this is a conversation we've had on the show a few times. The experience of the CD coming out was just different.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. How you used to have to spit on a CD to try to get it work. You had to put alcohol on it. You had to wipe it off with a tissue. You had to like, damn, you got scratch on it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it might work. So then, the era was so different because the CD players was so big. And you put the CD in there, or the DVD, or the D-Ray, or the X-Ray. Like I forgot what it was called, D-Ray, X-Ray, what it was called. But yeah, that era, man, that's our era, man. That's our era. Like, you know what I'm saying? The tape players. Let's go back. Let's say the tape players, the tape cassettes before the CDs. You see what I'm saying? To where if the whole little thread came out, you had to turn it
Oh,
to try
nigga,
to get it back into motion and put the tape in.
that
Sometimes it might
put
get
the little
ate up.
piece of tissue in the little
Come
slot
on,
at
the
the
little.
bottom of it if you want to record some shit over some shit you didn't like. Oh man,
Come on, man. Come on, man.
yo, but that was I really do get into some of the music now. I feel bad that they don't have the same anticipation, or the music doesn't stick with them as long as it used to with us.
I think it's because of the lyrics. I think it's the lyrics. Because back in our day, people were saying so much metaphors and made you think like, damn.
But no, they weren't, man. Some people were. Too Short wasn't saying no earth shattering shit, bro.
Too Short was saying some shit that had some game, but Too Short was
He
pimp.
was
He
saying some.
pimping.
He was saying game shit, but from an MC perspective.
Nah, I mean you can't. I mean you gotta understand. Like Too Short comes from East Oakland, man. With the Bay. Let me just keep it real. The Bay is we're not known for pimping, but if you think about that, people say we are. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So we Too Short had the game to where like um he'll show you how to get some money. He'll show you how a bitch get down. Like he'll show you what you should and shouldn't do with a female and what you shouldn't do this. You know what I'm saying? He was giving you that street knowledge game to where
yeah,
how he came up.
yeah.
And y'all either gonna take this
Or
or
you're
y'all
not.
not.
Yeah,
Same thing with E40. I'm giving y'all game on how to get the money, how to save it, how to put it up, how to invest it. But if y'all gonna listen to this game, if y'all not, then y'all not gonna get it. But the thing is, people got to go back and listen to E40 and Too Short and Be Legit and The Click and listen to what they were saying.
nigga.
They was spitting so much game, it went over people's heads.
And I got a chance to interview Be Legit,
Mm-hmm.
and I never doubted like the intellect of rappers, but your man was just so phenomenally smart
Yeah, man.
and was able to disseminate what he was saying
Mm-hmm.
in such a palatable way, but
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like a bunch of he knew what he was saying. He was confident about what he was saying. He had facts to back it up. Like it was
Yeah.
just a beautiful ass motherfucking conversation, if you will.
Yeah, man. He's a pioneer. He's one of the pioneers in the Bay, man. He's a legend, man. So he has his that smooth flow. You know what I'm saying? I'm in your area. You know what I'm saying? He has that. He's he's mellow with his music, but it's so smooth with it. Like he's so player with it. You know what
He
I'm
talked
saying?
that shit.
Yeah, man. He gonna give you them isms. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
He gonna give you them isms. If you wet behind the ears, listen to this album. He gonna get you right. You know what
man.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Who do you call for advice?
Um, I have a few people, man. That I call, my mentors or people I call for certain things. I want to shout out to my guy D Train. D Train. I've been under D Train since I was 18. D Train been training me for a long time, and he took me out of San Francisco, man, put me on the road and taught me how to be a national. Like he taught me how to get out on this road and meet these people. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for him, I probably would have met having these people across the country, seeing them 1 or 2 or 3 times. So shout out to D Train, man. I owe him everything. You know what I mean? He changed my life. Also, Dante Thompson. Shout out to Dante Thompson. He's over at Epic. And also Whit Wallace. You know what I mean? Los. My boy Ron Stu over here at Warner. He's a senior vice president at Warner. And Troy Marshall. It's a couple people that I didn't talk to and learn from, who gave me game, who I can call like, hey man, this and this, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And they'll be like, all right, OP, this is what you do. Don't do this. You say this. If you do say this, he might say this. So it's certain people that I call, man, that I know that will answer the phone, that will give me criticism the right way and keep it real with me. They'll have that tough conversation like, my nigga, you fucking up.
Yeah.
Or my nigga, you need to do better. Or and you can't get mad at that, because if they wasn't your friends or nothing like that, they wouldn't call you and tell you that. They're just like, all right, whatever, do your thing. But I have a few people who I can call, man. Even my dad, like my dad's my best friend. My dad raised me on his own, so my dad's my best friend, man. Like,
Really?
yeah, man. He did anything for me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad raised me and my brothers, on his own. Like, my mom wasn't around, but my dad's like a person I can call about anything. He'll be 100 with me, no judgment. You know what I mean? That's your father, so. Yeah, him too. But that's the number one for sure. My dad's number one for sure.
Last time you felt like you disappointed him?
I feel like I disappointed my father. Um, Probably when I was 19, 20, because I was in the music game. I was doing street team, but my dad wanted me to. He wanted me to go to school. He wanted me to go to college. He wanted me to, if college don't work, go to the Army, go to the Navy. If that don't work, and I feel like at the time I disappointed him because, I didn't do everything that he wanted me to do. Or I can't say what he wanted me to, what he set for me to do. Like, he had a certain type of plan that he wanted me to do. And, me being hard headed, I'm like, I don't want to do it.
That's
I
not
was,
hard headed though. I don't want you to. I just
yeah.
can't. I can't let you say that was hard. That's not hard headed. That's you being honest with yourself. There's a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, but at the time, I was young. I thought I was hard headed. Now that I
I
know
got
it
you.
now, I
Yeah.
can say that I thought for myself, and I made my own journey. But
Yeah.
I feel like I disappointed him because I was going to school. I was supposed to go to Howard. I was supposed to go to this. I was playing basketball. I want to do so much. I was supposed to do that. It was all expectations. We had, letters coming in from schools, shit like that, and I didn't go. So
Yeah.
I wanted to make some money, and I went to community college, and I managed a clothing store, and then see, the clothing store is what really changed my life. But me doing that, he expected me to do other things because I ain't had no money coming in at one time, you know. And I'm asking my dad for money. I'm asking him for money. I need help. Give me some money. You know what I'm saying? And he's
Yeah.
like, you need to figure something out because I'm not going to keep giving you money all the time. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and I feel like I failed him at one time. But then as he seen how serious I was, how eager and how I wanted it so bad when I was doing street team and road managing for certain artists and things like that, and he started seeing the checks come in the house, he's like, oh, okay, like this is really for real. I'm like, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. So as I got older, he started seeing it, and then he said, you know what, son, I love you and appreciate you, and I'm happy you stuck with it because he didn't want me to do it. He's like, man, go get a job.
How
You
long
got
did it
enough
take
money
for him
coming
to
in.
get to that point? Like, how old were you?
For him to really see it, I can say probably, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be vulnerable. Probably like 25, 26.
That's that's about normal.
Because I was that's around the time I got my first label account check. Shout out to Dante Thompson. That's when he was at E1, and that's when everything from there started. Like, I started E1, Sony Music. I did something with Sony, and I was at 300. I was at 300 Entertainment when we had Migos, we had T Grizzly, we had Fetty Wap. We had other artists that was signed on there, and then I was at 300. I left 300 and went independent. Did some other things. I was still independent, but I started doing some other little side things. And I was at Empire probably for about like 2 years, 3 years or something like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
doing national street team work and doing some radio things and stuff like that. But once my dad started seeing it, then he was like, okay, I can't say nothing, but he has to understand that I got the game from him.
Yeah.
Everything I'm doing and the way I act and certain things, he taught me a lot. You know what I mean? He might not see that, but he taught me a lot. But if it wasn't for him, for bringing me in this world and being who he is and giving me game at a young age, I probably wouldn't be in his position. You know, I really appreciate my pops for everything. You know,
We gonna send him this clip too, bro.
I am definitely gonna send him the clip.
No, I'm gonna make sure that that because black men need to know.
Yeah, man, like you gotta understand, man. Without our parents, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Regardless if you hate them, regardless if you dislike them, like you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. You're a reflection of your parents.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's how I was taught. You mess up, something happened, they gonna call me because you're a reflection of me. That's how I was getting told as a kid. So as I got older, I'm like, it's the same thing. If I do this
Yeah.
and say my dad's one of them guys, they gonna call him like, hey man, your son, who did you do? You know what I'm
And
saying?
and you know it's crazy. I used to tell my daughters that for years while they were growing up. You're a reflection of me,
Mm-hmm.
like literally.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're like them. I could get upset about something, but if they felt like they disappointed me,
Right.
that was a whole different thing. So yeah, I see that 1,000%. But
Yeah.
this is a question that I ask everybody that comes on the show. You're sitting on a park bench, and God sits down next to you and
Mm-hmm.
says that you can ask him or her one question. What would
Mm-hmm.
it be?
Why do you take away good people and leave the bad people on earth?
Mm,
Simple. There's so many people that passed away that shouldn't pass away. There's so many people on this earth that's bad and horrible. That do so much, you know, messed up stuff. Then you got people who genuine, who's doing good for their family, doing this, going to school, going to college, has a great job, great credit score, being successful, got awards, doing this, and then something tragic happens.
yeah.
They either have a heart attack, or somebody get killed, or they have a car accident, or they slip and fall, or it's so much tragedy. I be like, man, why? Like this dude right here didn't kill somebody and he got off. This person right here is the most successful person in the country, and this person gets robbed and killed.
I don't know
For
because
what?
I've thought about that myself, and there's a part of me that thinks that we all get a certain amount of time to fix our journey, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And like, say the person that killed somebody and got away with it. It's not that he's just leaving him here or her here just because.
Mm-hmm.
They have to fix that part of their journey.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do, that's when they go. Some
Mm-hmm.
people fix their journey. Some people's journey doesn't need much fixing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people come out the gate and they're just good people. I got an aunt that's just always been a really wonderful person.
Right.
So their journey doesn't need to be fixed as much as somebody who's been beating people up for no reason since they were
Mm-hmm.
6.
Right.
So, and it's just, God ain't tell, he not talking to me about it. He not getting my advice. But I think that we just all have to reach a point where we've kind of like fixed our ledger, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. I can agree with that.
So
I
I
can
don't
agree
know.
with that.
That's an
Like
interesting question.
as human beings, man, they always say that God has a plan for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody has their time and their day, but that's a question I would ask because it's a lot of people that lost a lot of good people, and they still grieving and crying to this day. It's like that's an answer that needs to. I mean, there's no way he's gonna answer that question. But if it did come down to it, that's a question I would definitely ask him.
What, what
And,
was the what was the dopest thing about the Migos?
definitely about the Migos, man, that they all three of them are all different. You see what I'm saying? Like they all different. They all
Mm,
talk different. They all talented in their own way. And one thing that tripped me out was we took the Migos. Shout out to Jay and Dino. We took the Migos to Power 106 in LA, and you know, P up there. I met P for the first time up there a few years back. He was up there, and I'm trying to figure out like they all rolling in all separate cars. Quavo got his black car. Um, 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 Offset got his black car. Takeoff got their own. Like they all in separate cars. You know what I'm saying? But they're all pulling up at the same time. But the Migos always been dope and creative, man. Me hanging with them just for the promo radio run, it was dope, man, because they were smart. They feed off each other. You know what I'm saying? I know people see their interviews, but I seen it in real time. Like them kid, them. I can't call them kids no more. Them artists are like, they're dope. You know what I mean? It was a moment. It was a dope moment we had. We all had that Power 106. It was something that probably would never ever happen in history. I don't know if I should talk about it, but just know that it was a lot of smoke in the air. You know what I'm saying? shout out to Jay Cruz, man. Shout out to Jay Cruz, man, out there in LA, man. Power 106, man. I mean, he had Power 106. He had 92.3. But shout out to him, man. Cruz, man. He made that happen, and he let him. It was a fun time, man, and that's a memory thing, and it was dope. After that situation, I didn't go on the road with him again. I did some other stuff, but yeah, that was a fun time, man. Just being at 300, and you know, even working with Fetty Wap was dope. Working with T Grizzly when he came out, he came to San Francisco in the Bay Area, and I picked him up and took him to his shows and all that. And me and his auntie, rest in peace, and me and his auntie was tight. You know what I mean? And T Grizzly is a smart individual as well, man. He's very talented. Yeah, he was dope too, man. I had a good time at 300. It was a good time at 300. Other than them, at that time there was a lot going on. So at that time when you independent, you get you wasn't getting paid right on time.
Right.
But that's just what it is when you're independent. Shit happens. So, but other than that, it was fun.
Is the bag better though?
I mean, you can say yeah and no because the corporate bag is good because it's if you getting consistent, you getting your money. You're guaranteed to get paid because it's a real job.
I can plan my mortgage payments on this corporate job.
Exactly, and you get benefits. You know what I'm saying? You get medical. You know what I'm saying? You get all that. But then if you're independent, it's like, okay, I gotta wait on the check. I don't know when it's gonna come. I put my invoice in. It's been a whole month. So now you have to wait on it and chase it. Whereas if you have a corporate situation to where you already covered, you're gonna get paid. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get your money guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like having that guaranteed money is what it is right now because it's hard out here to be independent contractor when it comes to a marketing or a marketing guy, promo guy in the streets because a lot of people are not hiring nobody like that because a lot of these labels and been laid off thousands of people at these labels this past year. You know what I mean? And a lot of people might not get that position again. And the money in the streets is kind of like iffy. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like corporate right now is where honestly, I mean, I can't say corporate, but getting a job, period, right at this moment will be best for a lot of people because you're guaranteed gonna get your money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I miss independent, but I'm corporate. I'm all the way through. Like I love it.
So when you gonna start your shit?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, whenever I feel like I'm ready, I have a time to where like I got offered a label job like a long time ago, and I wasn't ready. You know what I mean? So I know me I know me when I'm really ready because I have to really get my pieces in line and what I want to do. But I'm still learning. I'm still a learning process of learning new things and certain things inside of a label. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to do whatever I need to do to progress to reach my goal. Even if I gotta be at Warner for 2 more years, 3 more years, I can level up into the positions. I'm cool with that. But my end goal definitely, is to make sure that I have a full team and make sure that I can, do what I like to do.
I am not sure what happened, but the audio just fucked up horribly.
Oh yeah, I hear it on my end.
Yeah, it's like it sounds like you're in a washing machine. Let's see. I think that might have helped. Hello? Can you hear me? Well, I don't hear anything, which is, I guess, is somewhat of a good thing because I don't hear the static and shit. Um, yo, very, 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 very dope conversation with OP. Um, and we've only got a few minutes left, so hopefully he can tap back in audio wise. But you know, when you get these phone calls, that's the thing I don't like about StreamYard is that a phone call fucks it up for you, and they really need to fix that. But other than that, man, you know, I'm fairly satisfied with StreamYard. Yo, and I gotta say one thing, man. My manager Rita, man, and I always I'm one of those people. If I'm riding with you, I'm riding with you. I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader. I'll be your biggest fan. I need you to feel good about how good you are. And Rita is so unequivocally dope. And I don't just mean as a manager, but just as a person. She just really is a dope ass individual. And I have been absolutely blessed um, to have her on board or working with, you know, to work with her. And I just can't ever thank her enough. I don't think OP is gonna come back. We ain't got but about 3 minutes left anyway. Um, we do have the Levert experience coming up at 7 o'clock, and I know the Flyers had those times switched up. OP had something that he needed to address at 7 o'clock, so we switched the times. So Dave Tolliver, Mark Gordon, who am I forgetting? Blah, 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 blah. I'm so horrible with names, and they're gonna fucking kill me. Oh, I'm sorry, Rita, but who am I? Oh, Joe Little. My apologies to Joe Little. How can I forget Joe Little? Anyway, they'll be on at about 7 o'clock this evening. I do want to thank y'all for tapping in. And shout out to OP, man. I did not get a chance to tell you personally, man. But if nobody tells you today, bro, I am absolutely proud of you. I think that what you're doing, man, is very, very, very commendable. And I'm absolutely certain that your old man is proud of you. On that note, man, I'm gonna tap out. I'll see y'all in about an hour or so. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the show. I definitely, oh shit, excuse me. I definitely appreciate y'all. Um, and there's a few people that've been rocking with me for years, man. Iman, Vaughn, Mako, uh, just to name a few. Those three in particular, man. Like if I got a flyer, they share it. Like I don't have to ask anything. Um, they just been rocking with me, man. And I cannot possibly quantify how much that means to me. And I know I'm forgetting some people, and I do apologize. Ty been rocking with me for years. She's just been dope. Um, you know, Mahogany Unicorn. I'm not gonna scream it, but Unicorn. Shout out to you, definitely. Keith Horton, my guy. Student Minister Troy Muhammad, Mikey Eckstein. There's just been a list of people that just unequivocally have been rocking with me, and I don't know why. Sometimes I don't even feel as though I deserve it. But it's always appreciated, and I just felt like telling y'all. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'll see y'all in about an hour with the Levert experience. All right, I'm out.